Hi, in this video, I'm going to be showcasing the black GuliKit King Kong 3 Max controller. You'll see multiple detailed views at this controller, a close-up look at it, what's inside the box, a physical comparison with a new Xbox controller, installing and removing the back paddles and replacing the ABXY buttons, charging, turning on and off, connecting, and pairing, checking the buttons and joystick circularity test, including the Xbox controller, using the Hyperlink Adapter, a brief play of a AAA game, and pairing with an iPad to test some games. So it's going to be a long video. I do have video chapters below, so you can skip to wherever you want to. Okay, let's take a look at the box quickly. The heft and the thickness remind me of the iPhone boxes. Enjoy gaming easier. The GuliKit logo, and here are the details. You can pause the video at any time to examine it. I would prefer to use the Hyperlink adapter and no wiring. Again, you can pause the video here to look at the details. For me, there's always some excitement and anticipation when opening up any box of electronic gadgets. Sliding up the box feels exactly like an iPhone box. I'll test install and remove the paddles, but I'll replace the buttons permanently. Check out my new macro lens in action. I'll be using it to film more really neat close-ups, so hopefully you can appreciate all the tiny details. It's interesting that customization can bring better performance to enhance the gaming experience, optimizing the controller to your specific needs. For me, I have never really used the paddles to play any games. These come in the box, 2 thumb grip caps. I could tell they are made of silicone. A long enough USB-C to USB-A cable, a sticker and literatures, GuliKit products and parts. I'll be going to this website to test the controller. If the latest firmware exists, I may do another video on it. Support page, very nice. And the user manual, but this may be the best format for you to see online. You could pause or speed up the video or skip the chapter to 3 minutes 50 seconds or so. While user manuals might not get your heart racing the way a new gadget does, there is an unexpected thrill to be found in delving into their pages. For example, the manual becomes a map guiding you to hidden features and functionalities you might have missed. It's like uncovering secret cheat codes that unlock the full potential of your device. And here it is, the 3 Max controller. The case is a nice addition, but it's not like the best made material. I appreciate it though. Let's have a close-up look. This definitely brings a sense of excitement and enthusiasm. I may not sound like it, but inside it does. I'll see the controller even closer in a few seconds. This button puller even has a brand printed. And the Hyperlink adapter. Again, I'll be using this mainly. And let's have a close-up look at the controller. Seems to be made of a good quality plastic that feels durable and lightweight. It has matte finish that is slightly rough to touch. and still offering good grip. If you sweat a lot, it may not offer the best grip compared to like the Xbox controller Series X. That I will show you later. It is fine, as clicky and responsive, offering good feedback. I will be doing comparing side by side. Center buttons are okay. Shoulder buttons are fine. The front view looks ergonomic just like any other controller, but more glossy than the top view because of the triggers and the shoulders. The bottom view looks cool. You could see the textured grips. I'll be installing and removing the paddles just to see. The triggers can be configured to function as either digital buttons on-off or analog with variable pressure sensitivity. I'll be testing that on a website. Alongside of the grips and on, it has a small extended gap to allow for disassembling. The sticks do have a very nice feel. They feel smooth and consistent. Let's compare. The red controller on the right is brand new. Its joysticks do have more resistance. The GuliKit has a consistent light to moderate resistance. The buttons on the GuliKit are tactile and clicky, but slightly mushy, while the Xbox One is more solid and less clicky. The directional buttons, same as the ABXY of each controller, but they do sound very different. In my opinion, the red one would win in the buttons matching match. Dimension-wise, they appear to be fairly comparable. I'll show you how I would test that in a few seconds. Sure, the GuliKit borrows inspiration from the master, but there's a reason the red one's design is legendary. Holding it feels really nice and comfortable. This is my honest opinion. And I like that it shapes like one of the spaceships in the video game Elite Dangerous. This is a PlayVital anti-slip skin cover for the red controller. We'll see how it fits on the GuliKit controller. I've learned that this skin cover is quite durable. You could slip it on however you want. Well, you can see that it fits like a glove. The only thing is that the center hole buttons are not made for this controller. If you're interested, just don't buy a generic brand on eBay or wherever. You're likely to rip it just by putting it on. Next, I'm going to put on a couple of paddles for you to see. There's this articulation point and a tiny bump that you want to fit in the back accordingly. There is also a mapping code like G4 on the paddle that you want to use correspondingly to the G4 button on the back. Just push it in, making sure the paddle is contouring onto the grip. Here you can see the mapping code G1 that goes into the G1 button on the back. This short tiny paddle is cute. I like it. It's a bit less clicky or even mushy compared to the top ones. I think that is expected. Removing them is quite easy. Just don't be afraid to pull them out. Now on to charging. You could charge it while it's in the case, of course without the paddles. The light will stay red until it's fully charged, then it would turn green. Now let's take a look at some basic functions while it's charging. You want to press and hold this right button to turn on. You want to double tap the same button to toggle between Nintendo Switch, Windows PC, now Android, iOS, and Mac use the same Android icon. And lastly, the Hyperlink Adapter. Once fully charged, it would turn green. Moving on to GamePad testing. As you could see, I am using wired connection for more reliable and less prone to interference, potentially offering more accurate reading, especially for detecting subtle stick drift, if any, or button presses. But in the end, I would never use a cable for the controller, but rather I would use the Hyperlink adapter in general, for gaming that is. Notice you could see when using the triggers, the numbers appear other than 1 and 0, like decimal numbers in between, while the shoulder buttons register 1 and 0 only, which means the triggers are pressure sensitive when you have them on. But when you turn them off, you will see 1 and 0 only. Back on again. Let's have a look one more time. Look at the mapping at B7 and B6. Anyway, let's move on to test the joystick circularity. This software expects a perfect circular motion path when slowly spinning the joystick. And the actual recorded path from the joystick should have some deviations from a perfect circle. However, the GuliKit could pass the test with flying colors. Now how about the red controller? Its input could deviate from the ideal circular path by 8 or 9 or 10% or so when slowly spinning in a circle. Obviously, the lower the average error percentage, the more accurate and smooth the joystick circular motion is. On to the Hyperlink Adapter. It's designed specifically for this controller. It's supposed to significantly reduce input lag, providing a more responsive control. When plugged in, it will flash until the controller is linked to it, but you would need to pair it first and make sure the light is under the adapter icon. Once it's linked, the light will be steady and not flashing. On Steam, it detects an Xbox 360 controller. If you choose to keep the ABXY button layout as is, you could toggle on use Nintendo button layout. You could see here, I would prefer to use the Xbox button layout. So let's go ahead and do that. A and B would be B and A here. Removing a button is very easy. Don't be afraid to pull it out. It doesn't feel like I'm scratching it at all. These are dome switches and they rely on pressure-sensitive membranes rather than individual mechanical springs from my research. Don't forget to place it back where you used the other one. Next, this B will be where the A is. Pull it straight out. Again, not at all do I feel like I'm scratching it. A little tough to pull it out, that's okay. It is like the Frankenstein controller. It's like building your own gaming Frankenstein, merging functionality with personal preference, or making a statement of individuality. With a custom button layout, your controller becomes truly your own. And make sure the Y button is rotated properly. While this modding can be interesting, there is no potential downsides like warranty voiding. Isn't that nice? For this last X button, once you pull it out, don't rotate it. Just nicely push it straight into the slot. I feel like successfully pulling off this mod requires some technical tinkering skills. And there you go, the Xbox controller button layout. And this is why you want to make sure everything is rotated properly, because each button has its own level of slantedness, and you want to make sure that they're contoured to the body. Make sure the unused buttons are where they should be. Here I am finally trying this game that I just bought. It's called Lords of the Fallen, the 2023 version. Trying this for the very first time. My first impressions of the controller is pretty good. It's comfortable in hands, responsive buttons and joysticks. The grips feel secure and the weight distribution is balanced. I think I could do extended gaming sessions without discomfort. The buttons are good and satisfying. I have no idea what I'm doing. The sticks feel smooth. Controlling the character's movements seems precise and responsive. About this game, while opinions on Steam remain mixed, from what I know, the recent patches have generally improved the overall sentiment towards the game. Moving on to my final objective, pairing to and using an iPad. To do so, just switch to the Android icon or iOS below, and then press and hold the pairing button and wait for the light running or flowing. Then check the screen under devices. You would see Xbox wireless controller, and then just select it. Now it would be the same on a Mac. You would then have to select Connect, just for a quick test drive to see how it feels. Overall, the GuliKit King Kong 3 Max seems to be a well-rounded controller that is likely to be a keeper for me. Although I have not deep dived into technical specs, I could definitely say it offers a feature-rich, customizable experience for gamers who prioritize clicky buttons and precise control. And this video is very long. If you have made it this far, thank you. This is all I got. Thank you for watching. Do come back for the next video.